The Game Boy Advance is a console that released on June 11th, 2001 in North America and sold 81.51 million copies, which makes the third best-selling handheld from Nintendo. Of course, the GBA was the successor for the Game Boy, not the Game Boy Color. The Color was a powered upgrade for the Game Boy, like the DSi and the new 3DS. The GBA, though could play 16-bit games and even has a shoulder buttons now. But they just had to make the screen the same. Yeah, the screen was still bad on the original model, but thankfully, Nintendo released a new model of the GBA, being the GBA SP, featuring a clamshell design, which was a brilliant idea in my opinion, and it finally fixed the screen. But they made it better with another revision of the SP being different from the original SP. Now, what's different? Screen. Anyways, after these models, the Micro came out, which had a better screen, but was too small for my liking. There was also an accessory called the e-reader. I don't want to get into a war, so let's skip this topic. The GBA had a banging library of games, featuring a lot of franchises, but for this video, I'm going to cut this into 4 parts. First one being the Mario series, second one being the Pokemon series, third one being the Kirby series, and the final one being the new and localized series. So, let's get into it. The Super Mario Advance series is ports of 4 Super Mario Bros. Games, those being Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, and Super Mario Bros. 3. All of them have been downgraded in some form, but I do have to say, having it portably is great, especially with a game like Yoshi's Island. Also, fun fact, did you know that Super Mario Advance 4 supports the e-reader, which if it's scanning a specific Mario Advance 4 card, it's going to unlock levels with Super Mario Bros. 2 power-ups? Anyways, these ports were great for the time in my opinion, though we do have better options now. Pokemon had a lot of games on the GBA. Considering it was still ultra popular, it actually made a lot of sense. There was a new generation of Pokemon with the new games, being Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Pokemon Emerald. And they even introduced the remakes games, which basically are like, well, you don't know what I already mean. You know what I already mean. Like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, etc. Yeah. And the first remakes were Pokemon Leaf Green and Pokemon Fire Red, the remake of the original ones on the Game Boy. And it also had a lot of spin-offs like the pinball game and the mystery dungeon types of game that was introduced on the GBA. So yeah, I see the Pokemon series was even more of a banger on the GBA in my opinion. There was 2 Kirby games on the GBA, if you don't count the e-reader one. There was a remake of the original game called Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, which I didn't play that much, but I heard it was okay, for my friends at least. There was also a new Kirby game, and my favorite one out of all of them, that being Kirby in the Amazing Mirror. That game was superb in my opinion, because for one, it was the first Kirby game that I played that was actually good, at least in my opinion. And 2, I just like the art style, the story and stuff. It just kept me interested. And yeah, you know, that game was superb and stuff. And it made me open up to more video game franchises. So, thanks to Kirby, I wouldn't have known more of Nintendo. The GBA was also a console with localized game, that being Fire Emblem and Advance Wars. It's crazy that they were never localized from the start. These games started on the NES, and for God's sake, and now they localize them? Don't take it as if I'm not happy they're localized this late. I'm still glad they did. I'm just surprised that they came out on the GBA. I heard the GBA entries were great, and the GBA also introduced Golden Sun, an RPG made by the same team who did Mario Tennis. Yup, I heard it was an amazing game, and it also had sequels, so good for it. I never played it for some reason. And Rhythm Heaven started on the GBA. In 2006, Nintendo published a new game and a new IP called Rhythm Tengoku, and sold at least 0.268 million. Oh god. But thankfully, there was an arcade game, a DS game, which is how North Americans were introduced to the series, a Wii game, and a 3DS game. All of them combined, sales-wise, I'm sad to say, but 5.15 million, which is really sucky in my opinion. And I did not ever said this, but Rhythm Heaven is my favorite Nintendo IP. When I first played it on the 3DS, it was great. I was so hooked into the gameplay, you know, the rhythm games, the characters, and just like everything about the series just feels amazing and just funny and just goofy, wacky stuff that just feels really Nintendo to me. Overall, I feel like this console is like a portable SNES and a portable NES, because that's what most of the recognizable games are. I'm not saying it didn't have any new games. Trust me, there was still a lot of new games, but still a lot of ports and remakes. But it's fine, as long as they're good, I don't care. And it was even backwards compatible with Game Boy and Game Boy Color game, which was really cool. Even now, it's still one of the best portable consoles in my opinion, and the best closure to the Game Boy line. And with that, I'll see you guys soon.